fuzzy brain. You look so beautiful.
As a Betty Boop.
As a Betty Boop.
Makes your green eyes pop.
Thank y'all. Yeah, in that tutorial, she's like, and then you need green contacts. And I'm like,
no,
I have green eyes.
Okay. Is it gone?
Yeah. Okay. Hi. Welcome back to Yapped Out. I'm Sam.
And I'm Paige.
And this is our non-spooky Halloween episode.
Yes, welcome.
We're in our costumes. I'm Betty Boop.
And I am a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader. Of course.
Of course.
I'm from Texas, not Dallas, but I'm from Houston, so close enough.
Close enough. And I'm just going to be reading Paige regular old Reddit stories today. I wanted to do spooky ones, but I wasn't finding any good ones, so just thought we'd do a normal podcast in costumes.
Yeah. I thought that would be fun. For a second, I thought my top was open. I was nervous. Oh my god. It feels vulnerable being like in a cropped thing right now. I don't really wear crop tops anymore.
Me neither. I'm not used to it anymore.
Oh, I do. Sometimes.
Every now and then.
But not on camera.
Yeah, but also not with little booty shorts.
Yeah. I don't get naked like that anymore. I would rather be comfortable.
Oh, you look so cute.
Thank you. You do too.
Thank you. Okay, so should we just jump right into it?
Yes, let's jump right in.
Okay, for our first story, it is titled, Am I the asshole for telling my sister I hooked up with her fiance and ruining her engagement, even though she took him back? I, 19 female, come from a super religious family where everyone marries fast through matchmakers. I'm the black sheep because I left religion and started dating casually. My sister Marie, 25 female, is the family favorite. Beautiful, smart, outgoing, but she's struggled to find a husband. After a string of failed matches, she finally got engaged last month to Christopher, 30 male. Everyone was relieved because she'd been trying for so long. I was happy for her, until I met the fiance. Christopher and I hooked up last year. For context.
Before.
Okay. For context, the age gap between us isn't the issue, so please don't bring it up. We met at a party, and despite being religious, he's divorced and didn't seem concerned about staying pure. We hooked up 5 times. He was my first everything. Kiss, hook up, all of it. After the 5th time, he said he was falling for me, but I wasn't looking for anything serious, so I ended things before it got too complicated. Especially because I knew he wanted to eventually get remarried, and I was not the girl for that. We hadn't seen each other since, until Marie brought her home as her fiance. This is so bad.
And she said she comes from a religious family, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
she's like
I'm assuming.
The black sheep.
Okay, yeah, she's the black sheep. So they kind of already know that she might be the promiscuous one doing these kinds of things. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. The second we locked eyes, I knew we were both thinking, oh shit. Later that night, Christopher pulled me aside, begging me not to tell Marie. He said it meant nothing, it was in the past, and telling her would only ruin her happiness. He texted and called me for a week, saying how much Marie had been through and how I'd destroy her life if I told her. I kept my mouth shut at first, I didn't want to hurt her, but the guilt was eating me alive, like I was watching her walk into a disaster. I felt like she deserved to know, so I told her. At first, Marie didn't believe me. She said I was trying to sabotage her happiness because I couldn't stand being single. I had to show her the text and photos to prove it. When she finally accepted the truth, she lost it. She confronted Christopher and he denied everything until she shoved the evidence in his face. Marie called off the engagement. That's when things really hit the fan. My parents and some relatives told me I should have kept quiet. They said I'd ruined Marie's one shot at happiness and called me selfish for interfering. Now I'm not even invited to the wedding. Yep, they got back together, but I'll get to that. It gets worse. While Marie and Christopher were dating, he randomly called me, saying he wanted to reconnect.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, wait. When is this?
While Marie and Christopher were dating.
Okay. After they broke up and then started dating again?
I don't know, because she's saying dating, so is that before they were engaged?
Maybe. I don't know. That's a little unclear.
Yeah. He randomly called me saying he wanted to reconnect. He was rather vague, but it was obviously a booty call. Okay. Yeah, no, so this is while
Before
she
the
knew.
first engagement.
Yeah, before the
Okay.
engagement. Because it said I didn't know he was dating at the time and definitely didn't know he was dating my sister.
Damn.
I let him down firmly and didn't engage because I had no interest. After telling Marie about our hookup, I mentioned the call because I thought she should know he wasn't as faithful while they were dating as she thought he was. But that backfired spectacularly. Marie accused me of making up lies to tear them apart. Christopher denied everything and said I was obsessed with him. Marie sided with him and called me a, quote, desperate home-wrecking whore. Since I deleted my call history, I had no proof. It became a he said, she said situation, and Marie believed him. Now, Marie and Christopher are back together, and they're getting married. She showed up at my apartment a few weeks after the fight, crying. Apparently, Christopher convinced her that what happened between us was just a meaningless mistake, and that it made him realize how much he wanted to be with her. I tried to explain that he had told me he was falling for me, not to make it seem like he still liked me, but just to show her he was lying to her about what he felt for me. But she just got angry and called me a jealous liar and some other petty names I won't repeat before storming out. Now I'm completely cut off from family events. My parents say I've caused enough damage, and extended family members are calling me a slut, both behind my back and to my face. Every attempt I've made to explain myself has been shut down. So yeah, they're getting married anyway, and here I am wondering if I just blew up her engagement for nothing. Should I have just stayed quiet? Did I do the right thing? Or did I just ruin my relationship with my family for no reason?
Okay, so at first, I was thinking, okay, the guilt is eating you alive that you're not telling your sister. Why tell your sister if it's making you feel guilty? Like, I was a little bit conflicted about that at first. But the way that all of this is going makes it seem like they're going to have to figure it out themselves, because the sister is not listening to her sister. She was writing her off and calling her jealous and making it seem like she was just trying to break them up and whatever. She's being defensive because she's inexperienced. She has never been through this before. She's never had sex. She's probably never kissed anyone. She's never been in a relationship. And I used to be that dumb bitch too, where I would not listen to anyone about the person that I was with being an asshole.
Yeah.
A piece of shit that I shouldn't be with.
I've been there too.
Yeah. So maybe, I don't know how I feel about the sister telling the engaged sister everything because she felt guilty. I think ultimately it was the right decision.
But not a good reason.
Not a good reason.
I feel like her reason wasn't honest either.
Yeah.
Where I feel like it's better, even if it was honest, it is better for the reason to be, I want to protect my sister because he's obviously unfaithful, and he called me to meet up while they were dating.
Yeah.
To, like, protect her, but it was because she felt guilty.
Yeah.
So that's reads kind of weird to me.
Yeah.
But I think I agree that it was ultimately the right decision.
Yeah. I feel like she learned that her sister is going to be the type of person, like most of us are, to learn from their mistakes. And you can't tell somebody, you can't really save somebody, no matter how much you do want to help them. And, if your intentions are good, it's hard for people to see that when they are in something that they want to work so badly. They will not listen to you when you are trying to tell them the facts.
Yeah.
Especially if they're potentially jealous of, you having a relationship with their fiance. Like that is going to get in the way more than anything.
Yeah.
And I think this is all going to work out how it's supposed to work out. They're going to fail. That relationship is going to fail because that man is a piece of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I personally wouldn't be able to move forward with someone who's slept with my sister.
yeah.
That feels really weird to me.
And I think, like, it should have been on him to
Mm-hmm.
tell his fiance. Why keep that secret? I feel
Mm-hmm.
like if you find out, like, maybe he didn't know before that he was dating the girl he slept with's sister, but he did find out when he saw her.
Yeah.
And as a grown person in a relationship, I think it's the more mature thing to pull your fiance or girlfriend at the time aside and say, this is very awkward. I have something to tell you, but I think I should tell you because you deserve to know. And I don't want to have this secret hanging over us and our relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But I have had relations with your sister, and I did not know that until I just saw her today.
Yeah.
I think this should totally be up to you and your comfort level. I think you need to decide what we should do about this.
Mm-hmm.
If you're comfortable or if you're not. Let's take it from there and figure out if we can date with this dynamic happening here.
That's the mature thing to do.
Yeah.
But he wanted to hide it.
Yeah.
Like, what? That's going to come out
It's
in years?
messy.
And that's just so messy.
It's too...
Mm-hmm.
Don't hide things. Like,
yeah.
Let's...
Like, that's what's going to ruin the relationship.
Yeah.
Even more after you've already had years together. It's going to come out.
Yeah.
Like, you can't really hide a secret like that.
I mean, there are probably people who can keep secrets, but you cannot count on somebody else to keep a secret the way you want to.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't just decide for the sister that you slept with before that she's going to be okay with it. So I think, and it would be disrespectful to go to the sister that you initially slept with and said, can we keep the secret? That's not your girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
You don't do that with anyone else but your girlfriend.
Right.
So I think the only way out was for him to tell his new girlfriend straight up, like, this is what happened and I need you to make a decision.
Mm-hmm.
Be forthright. That's the only right way to go.
I agree.
Yeah.
So, do you think not the asshole? On her part?
I think no, I don't think she is completely an asshole. But
yeah. I think she could have maybe been like, well, you tell her I will. Either way, she's going to know.
Yeah.
So.
Exactly. I think she should have given him the opportunity to tell her.
Yeah. Especially if he knew it was going to come out no matter what.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because did she say that she agreed? And then, yeah, I kept my mouth shut at first.
Yeah.
But the guilt was eating me alive. So really, when the guilt was eating her alive, she should have gone to him.
Exactly.
And said, hey, this guilt is eating me alive. I need her to know.
Yeah.
Whether it's from me or from you, I'll let you make that decision because you're her fiance. And what we had was in the past. Obviously, you're with my sister now, but, like, she needs to know.
Yes.
And I can't sit here.
Exactly.
But she didn't give him the opportunity at all. So who knows if he would have.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe, like, trying to give him that opportunity and be like, hey, this is too much. It's not like me and my sister are never going to be sisters again. It's not like we're friends. We're never going to, like, pull apart from each other. We're family. Like, can you please rethink this and take on the responsibility of telling her because you are choosing to be with her.
Mm-hmm.
I don't choose. I am her family. So please do it, but I cannot keep this secret. It's eating me alive.
Yeah. And that would have saved her from being ostracized from her whole family because there already was a disconnect considering she left their religion, but she still was going to the wedding and still would see them at family events, but now nobody wants to talk to her because to them, she's the asshole. And
it's kind of funny because in, I think a lot of religions, it's like religious families, it's kind of like, keep your mouth shut, keep the peace.
It is.
Yeah, and they wanted her to do that. But she probably felt like, why is all of this pressure on me?
Mm-hmm.
Why can't people just admit to their wrongs? It was probably pissing her off so much that this guy who's, the family probably also wants him to be religious
Mm-hmm.
and be by the book. And for her to have to keep his secret too, she probably just started to resent the fuck out of him.
Yeah,
and was like,
out of
this
all
is
of it.
not my responsibility, and everyone's thinking I'm the bad guy when I'm not. This man who's coming into our family is doing the same things that I'm doing that everyone hates me for.
Yeah, that's so true. There's like an underlying reason on top of the guilt about her sister.
Yeah.
That's so true.
Get it. I get it why she said something. And she's only 19.
Yeah, she's young.
Yeah.
And also, it's so true, like, for the sister, like, when it said, what did she say? Basically, it sounds like she's struggled to find a husband, but she's only 25.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, to the family, probably because they're religious, she's, like, old.
Yeah.
And, like, needs a husband.
Like, you need to get a husband and then have babies.
So they all want it to work out.
Mm-hmm.
And it probably seems like, in the family's eyes, that this sister, who obviously doesn't live by their rules, just doesn't want what they want. Like, is sabotaging her on purpose.
Yeah.
Because they're so defensive about the sister getting married and it working out.
Yes, exactly. I feel like...
Versus, like, healthy people would be like, okay, there's someone else out there for you. You're still young.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about it. Don't settle for this guy just because it feels like he's the only one.
Yeah.
You know?
And a lot of families, in general, are not healthy. They don't have that mindset. Mm-hmm. Even if they... You know, religion, we're not saying that people who are religious are unhealthy. Religion pushes a certain agenda that that expects you to follow guidelines and rules to be right in the eyes of God. And a lot of families, whether they're religious or not, tend to have, like, a lot of confusion in life. A lot of, like, not rose-colored glasses. They aren't. It's the opposite of that. It's like they're overshadowed by past trauma and they're unable to make healthy decisions and teach their children how to make healthy decisions, especially in future relationships. Mm-hmm. So a lot of families don't know how to lead their children into a healthy dynamic. Yeah. It's a lot of people, once they grow up and become adults, have to unlearn a lot of trauma that was inherently passed down.
And a lot of people don't do that before they start having kids.
Yeah. And it's just sad that people, a lot of the time, just end up in these shitty relationships that they have to learn from because their family wasn't conscious. It may sound like I'm trying to say cautious, but I mean conscious, like without ego deciding on things. Yeah. So without fear, without certain ideas about how things should work. And ultimately it makes it hard for their children to operate properly in this lifetime without tons of hurt coming on.
Yeah. And I feel like in this family dynamic, I could see if they get married and things are not right in the relationship, that would be something that, like, would be hidden, especially since this happened, because then they don't want to maybe prove the situation right. Yeah. And then also, like, a lot of people who come from religious families don't want to get divorced. Yeah. Which sometimes it's necessary. Yeah. Which that's just what scares me with the sister staying with him, even though he didn't want to tell her the truth. Mm-hmm. But then also he wasn't given, like, the ultimatum of, you tell her or I will.
I wonder how old he is. 25?
30.
30? Oh.
She's 25. The sister's 25. He's 30. And then the younger sister's 19, who hooked up with him.
Interesting. I think he is messy.
Mm-hmm.
He sounds messy. Doesn't
Mm-hmm.
know what he's doing. I mean, he probably knows what he's doing and he knows it's wrong. But, boy, you need to grow up.
Mm-hmm.
You're 30. I mean, 30 is still really young. But, grow up.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Want to hear the top comments?
Yeah.
Okay, sort by top. Christopher is a walking red flag. Marie is in for a lifetime of unhappiness for duration of marriage. Marie will be wondering if he's really going where he says he is. Is he cheating? Their marriage is doomed before vows are exchanged. OP, you're not the asshole.
Yeah. It's so true.
Mm-hmm.
It's so true. He's a shitty shithead.
A giant red flag factory.
Yeah.
While Marie is trapped in a red flag clearance sale.
Dude. Funny.
Oh. Yes, Christopher is a walking red flag, but to be fair, so is Marie, and basically OP's whole family. Maybe they're a good match after all. But OP doesn't need to worry. Sister will be running back to OP with a few kids in tow in a few years after she's been cheated on a few times or a few more times. And then OP will be berated by the family for not just forgetting how OP was treated and for not falling in line to worship, sorry, console the golden child. OP should just stay away from that awful family she was unfortunate enough to be born into, not the asshole.
Well, let's not berate the 19-year-old. Like, was she 25?
25, yeah.
Let's not berate the 25-year-old because she's also dumb as fuck, too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she's not dumb as fuck, but she's, like, dumb because she has no life experience.
Yeah.
She has so much to learn.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe she will go through all that hurt. And maybe it will be her lesson. But just because people are making the wrong decisions and probably because she's being gaslit, it's not entirely her fault for being dumb. It's not entirely her fault. People can grow and people can come to grace and be like, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? Maybe the sister will be like, I'm sorry I didn't believe you.
Yeah.
I am sad and I'm struggling and I was cheated on and whatever happened.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry I didn't listen to you and I'm pissed.
Yeah.
Some people do learn and take accountability. So let's hope that happens.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Let's not be like, oh yeah, OP should stay away. It's like, remember that people are flawed.
Mm-hmm.
Humans are flawed. But let's have empathy too, because people can change.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Let's see.
And if you want to stay away even after that, even after being hurt, that's valid too.
Mm-hmm. That's your decision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if that person is genuinely changed, they're going to say, okay, I accept that you don't want to be around me.
Yeah.
And I love you, but I'll love you from a distance.
Mm-hmm.
Healthy.
I want to look at her profile to see if there's anything else.
She was pee-pee.
Yatta pepe.
Yeah.
You want to go prepare?
Should we listen to that first?
Yeah.
Sorry, we're going to have to cut this little part out. I mean, we might not.
Okay,
Whatever.
Where is it?
People can know that I pee.
Someone said, I amend my previous reply. He's a scumbag for wanting to hook up with you while seeing your sister. If the only issue was you spilling the beans about your previously dating, I wouldn't bother telling. His wanting to hook up with you while he's committed with your sister, however, shows that he's a creep. And then she said, OP said, yeah, if he hadn't have called me while they were dating, I probably would be less concerned. But this shows he's unloyal.
Yeah, and wouldn't they have the same last name?
That too. Excuse me. That too.
Yeah. Like,
yeah.
He asked.
And they look they have to look
They
similar
have to.
enough to be like, oh.
They have
and
to
I feel
look
like
similar.
I was going to say maybe he didn't get their last name, but first of all, Hooked up with someone 5 times.
Yes.
And social media is a thing these days.
Yes.
And then obviously asked the sister to marry him.
Yeah.
They were fiancés.
Well, yeah. He asked both of them to marry him.
Oh, right.
Yes.
That's so true.
After they hooked up the 5 times, he was like, will you marry me?
Mm-hmm.
And she said no.
The 5th time he said he was falling for me, but I wasn't looking for anything serious, so I ended things before it got too complicated.
Yeah, or he was falling
because I knew
for
he
her.
wanted to get remarried.
Yeah,
because he had told her
so he
probably
didn't ask her
to get married, but he said he was falling for her after he said, "I do want to be married again."
So he definitely knows her last name.
Yep.
He definitely knows both of their last names. And I will not accept no for an answer. He knew.
He's scary.
He's, yeah, nasty. Go disappear. We don't want you on this earth.
Yeah, literally.
We need to be sent to Mars.
Oh my God. I hope something else happens before they get married. Just because, I mean, marriage, it's not that big of a deal.
I hope something happens before they have kids.
Yeah, because then you're attached to someone forever. I mean, and you have to co-parent. So
yes, kids hold you together forever. Marriage does not.
Mm-hmm.
But
get out,
pregnant.
sis. Get out, Marie.
Oh my God, so gross.
For our next story, moving on.
Okay.
Am I the asshole for bursting out laughing when she told me what she brought to our relationship?
What?
I apologize for the mouthful of a title. I was trying to be as descriptive as possible. I, 25 male, have been dating my girlfriend, Jen, 24 female, for 9 months. 5 months ago, Jen lost her job when her company went under. The company?
The company.
And around the same time, she had a falling out with her roommate. She was in urgent need of housing, but in an awkward position with employment status, so she reluctantly asked if she could move into my house. I agreed because she had already spent the night several times, and she moved in under the condition that she would begin looking for work to contribute. Now, back on our second date, when I asked Jen if she wanted to be exclusive, she responded by asking me what I would bring to a relationship with her. I answered as pragmatically, is that how you say that word?
Yeah.
I answered as pragmatically as possible. A stable income, loyalty, companionship, willingness to compromise, and consistent attention to my appearance, hygiene. I didn't really care much for the question at the time, so while she seemed mildly satisfied with what I said, I didn't ask her in return. I feel like I've held up my end of the bargain, but after moving in, Jen only really looked for work for about 2 weeks. She now spends the majority of her waking hours on Instagram, TikTok, and Netflix.
Oof.
Ugh. I've raised the issue with her indirectly before asking how her job search was going, and she said nobody was hiring, which I find hard to believe. Well, yesterday in the evening, I finally hit my limit. Jen drank a bottle of wine that I was saving for a romantic evening date and spent the rest of her day screwing around on her phone. After work, I sat her down and asked what she thought she brought to the relationship.
Oh, shit.
Ooh. Jen stared at me for a few seconds as if I had asked the dumbest question in the history of mankind. Then she erupted, frantically pointing at herself. Me! I'm the prize!
Damn! Okay. Prize girl.
From my perspective, this is coming from a woman who had just gotten day drunk off wine, watched Netflix, and ate all my food.
Shit.
I honestly couldn't contain myself, and I burst into laughter.
Yeah.
Every time I looked back at her, she would give me this incredulous look while shrugging, which only made me laugh harder. Jen got really angry at me and let out this wailing shriek sort of sound. She stormed off to another room where I'm 100% sure she just screwed around on her phone more. I haven't talked to her since. I feel like I might have gone too far here. Was I the asshole?
No.
Not the asshole. I laughed too. Shit.
Yeah, that was so funny. I'm the prize.
Me? I'm the prize.
But you're not doing anything, girl. Yeah, are you just a girl? You want to be a trophy wife? Sounds like you want to be a trophy wife.
Yeah.
But you told him that you were going to stay there until you found a job, right?
Yeah. And then it said that she would start contributing.
Yeah. You would start contributing. And what are you doing? Nothing. You're sitting on your phone, doing nothing, watching shows, drinking. Drinking just makes it all the worse.
Drinking the nice wine that he was saving.
Yes.
Like, that context matters.
Yes. And, I mean, I wonder what his financial situation is. Is he super comfortable? Or is he not very comfortable and needs more help? Like,
yeah.
she is taking advantage. She's definitely taking advantage. And I don't understand how you can decide to be in a relationship and then say, I'm gonna take advantage. Like, I feel like girls do that when they're dating somebody who is very, very well off, and they're like, I can chill out, and this is what my partner wants me to do.
Yeah.
I am a trophy girlfriend, so let me do that. But
in this situation, they had the agreement that she was looking for work so that she could contribute.
Yeah.
And she looked for work for 2 weeks and then started saying that nobody was hiring.
Yeah. If you're such a
Go to the grocery store.
Yeah. If you're such a prize, then go find a rich, handsome man who wants a girlfriend that does nothing.
Yeah.
Who wants a girlfriend that stay at home and will have babies and do all the shit that housewives do eventually. I mean, she's not even doing that, so.
No, she's not even doing that.
She's not a prize.
Nope. And then also, what was I going to say? I don't even remember. I have more to say about it.
It's so silly. He's not an asshole. It sounds like he wants somebody who's aware of themselves and the relationship and contributing, and sounds like he's pretty level-headed. I mean, we laughed.
Yeah, no, that was funny.
That was so funny.
Especially the way he wrote it. Like, from my eyes.
Yeah.
This is coming from a girl who just watched Netflix all day and got day drunk.
Yeah, exactly. It's not cute.
No.
Don't be getting day drunk while sitting on your ass, mooching off of somebody else. It's not cute.
No. Top comment. Not the asshole. I laughed when I read it because I agree with you. If she can ask you that question and you're able to provide a very good answer, she should have been able to do the same. Girlfriend or not, you should give her a deadline to find a job, or she needs to move back in with her parents.
Yeah.
She needs to not only bring herself to the relationship, but some finances, groceries, cooking, and cleaning skills. What makes her think she can just freeload off of you?
Yeah.
Oh, this is what I was going to say. This reminds me of our friend's roommate.
Yes. No, I thought of that exactly. Yes. I thought of that same situation. I was like, this lazy bitch. This girl decides, oh, I'm able to freeload right now. Let me take advantage. Freeloaders, we don't like you.
No.
Stop freeloading. Unless you have a specific agreement. Like a sugar baby situation. Or like, you're an escort and you have an agreement. This is a thing.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. Don't take advantage of people who are hard workers and are looking for a traditional relationship and expect you to take care of yourself. You guys are only together for 9 months. That's nothing.
And it doesn't sound like they were going to move in together, but
No.
But the situation, it was situational.
Yeah. She's being lazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which also that makes me question, she lost her job. Okay, so the company went under. She had a falling out with her roommate. So like.
She sounds like very irresponsible potentially. Maybe she wasn't paying rent.
And maybe the company didn't go under. Obviously, I'm speculating because there's not enough context. But like.
Maybe.
It sounds like that could be something. Definitely met people like that.
Yeah, I know. She sounds like a mooch.
Yeah, she needs to get a job and help out. Bottom line.
And if you don't want to get a job and help out, and you're a prize,
Go
You're
be with someone who
beautiful.
views you that way.
Yes, go and be with somebody who can take care of you.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody's offering you that right now. So go work on yourself. Focus on yourself. And then if you want to be a trophy wife one day, go do that. But you got to be able to support yourself by yourself.
Yeah.
Or else you're going to end up in situations like this and everyone's going to keep kicking you out.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I wonder if there's any updates or anything. Let's see.
Silly, silly, silly.
He hasn't even responded to any other comments either.
Yeah. I don't know. He's not an asshole.
Yeah, no, I don't think he's the asshole at all. Are there any other good comments?
Dating sounds so icky, nasty to me right now.
What an arrogance. No person is a prize. No person decides that they are a prize, and certainly not Netflix watching bums. At this moment, I doubt that she was really in such a difficult position as to move in with OP. OP. OP is a kind-hearted person, probably more than me, because there's no way I would let my 5-month-old relationship move in with me.
Yeah.
He must set a deadline, or even better, kick her out. Her audacity is astonishing. Yeah, that's so true.
If it was 5 months, she said 5 months?
Yeah.
I thought he said 9 months.
I thought so too. Wait, so in this comment said maybe it was 5 months when she moved in. Yeah, 5 months ago, Jen lost her job and moved in with me.
So she's been sitting on her ass for 4 months? Or 5 months?
5 months.
5 months.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
When they had an agreement.
They had been dating for 9 months and then she had been sitting on her ass for 5 months.
Yeah.
That's too long.
Mm-hmm.
Get it together.
Okay, no, dating for 9 months. Sorry, I got confused.
Mm-hmm.
Dating for 9, moved in 5 months ago.
Okay.
9 months, 5 months.
Oof. Too soon.
They moved in at 4 months into the relationship.
Damn.
That sounds like also someone I know. But shorter.
Dude, I know.
Oh my God, no, I would not be able to deal with that.
No. And the thought of moving in with somebody at all. I mean, I've dated people who are with me 24/7. But I can kick them out whenever the fuck I want because they have somewhere to go.
Yeah.
And the thought of like having somebody in my home that has nowhere to go, that has always scared me. Even when I was desperate for love, I was like, you have nowhere to go. Oh, I can't have that because I can't have you in my space all the time. What happens if we break up? Are you just going to be a bum and squat at my house?
Yeah.
Because I know somebody who has that situation or had that situation, and luckily she got out of it.
Yeah.
But her man was squatting. He refused to leave. And I was actually terrified. Yeah, I was terrified for her. I'm like, anyone who has the audacity to literally squat in your home, that's crazy. Cuckoo crazy.
I don't know how people would do that. Like, if I were genuinely in that situation, I would figure it out. But I wouldn't overstay my welcome anywhere.
No. I think
like I would sleep in my car. I don't give a hoot.
Yeah.
Like
we're very like aware of how other people are feeling.
Yeah.
And we don't want to come off as though we are bad in any way.
Yeah.
And we get nervous. We start to get really anxious if we feel like I'm not doing enough. I'm not like I need to be doing something because I can't disappoint this person. But some people just don't have that. They don't have that awareness. It's so weird.
Yeah.
You're not feeling like you're a burden even though you are.
Also, to be that comfortable 9 months into a relationship, like I mean, I still don't feel like, I guess I'm just not that kind of person who I have days like that, but for it to be consistent across 5 months, like that's pretty insane.
Yeah.
She must be like depressed or something.
Yeah. And I get that, but don't let depression or anxiety hold you back.
Or affect other people.
Affect other people, yeah. You gotta work on it. And if you are going through something like that, kind of have the wherewithal to be like, I'm going through something right now. I need to let you know that I'm going through something. It's affecting the way that I function. But I want to let you know that I care.
Yeah.
And
I'm trying.
Even though it seems like I'm not, I get stuck.
Yeah. Because,
Because
I want to say, oh, she's just lazy, but I know from my personal experience, if I'm ever coming off lazy, it's because I'm, frozen by anxiety or, feeling depression or, too many things to do at once. I don't know where to start, and I'm just frozen.
Yeah.
So, and it comes off as lazy.
Yeah. I was there for years.
Yeah.
Stuck in a frozen state.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're both getting better.
Yeah, we both struggled with that. But I think we needed to. I mean, I needed to do that to process a lot of things that happened with me.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think I was ever to the point where, that's all I did. Even when I'm depressed, I try to get ready for the day and
you
clean and
push.
do. Yeah.
Yeah,
push
I remember
through.
you were pushing.
Yeah.
Even though we could actually physically see it on you, how it was affecting you.
Yeah.
You were burying it, and it was affecting you the way that you ate.
Oh my God.
That you slept
I couldn't
and
eat.
Worked. Yeah.
And I lost so much weight.
Mm-hmm.
And just looked so different.
Yeah.
And gaunt. But I couldn't see it in the moment. I knew something was off.
Yeah.
But
we were both really thin at different points.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that's what our anxiety and depression does.
Yeah. But I definitely would never go and day drink.
No. No.
Or drink at all. If I'm ever depressed, that's not the time for me to drink.
No,
I'm the opposite of how a lot of people will use drinking.
Yeah.
I'm I have to feel really good, have a lot of sleep, and know that I'm still getting an early night for me to have anything to drink.
Yes, any substance. I'm I mean, I can't even smoke weed. I cannot.
Me neither. I have a shrooms trip on weed.
Yes,
psychedelic.
Exactly.
I can microdose, which I enjoy doing.
On mushrooms?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Me too.
And I feel I can microdose weed as well, but it's a little harder to microdose.
Mm-hmm.
But when I've microdosed weed, I've been fine. On accident. Mm-hmm. Accidentally smoking weed, which I know.
I hate it.
Long story.
I can't. Oh, yeah. I can't. I hate smoking weed.
Yeah.
It stresses me out.
Mm-hmm.
Even the littlest bit.
Yeah.
But I did try it recently at a concert.
See, I couldn't do that. It would have to be for me, it has to be on some self-healing type shit.
Yeah. I was buzzed.
Yeah.
So
You were buzzed and you smoked in a weed? I would throw up.
Really? Oh, yeah. No, I've never gotten
dizzy.
The spins
really?
from that. Somebody told me about
Mm-hmm.
that, and I was like, I've never had the spins, but I have gotten too high and then get the spins.
Oh, yeah. No, that's the worst.
Yeah.
That's the worst. I hate being too anything.
Yeah.
I
know, me
even
too.
if I've drank, when we were at Horror Nights,
mm-hmm.
I had one more sip of a margarita, and then I was just that was one sip too much.
Yeah.
Especially
we're very
since I don't
sensitive.
drink a lot, so I was just
we're very
I was
aware
fine.
of those things. It was funny to go out and party because you see people partying and drinking, and they're
people drink so much.
Yeah, and they're getting fucked up, and I'm having the greatest time, pretty much all the way sober, and I'm damn, I think it happens when you're going out a lot.
Yeah.
And you need some sort of pick me up to make another night of going out enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
Because it starts to become monotonous.
That's so
and
true.
Almost stressful.
Mm-hmm.
When I was going out a lot, I was getting really anxious about going out. And I'm I don't even want to do this. But going out after months of not going out,
it can be fun.
Excited, especially since it was Halloween and I was all dressed up, all
you
cool.
Looked so cute.
I was so happy.
Also, I'm higher energy when I'm not drinking.
I was so high energy. I was talking to everyone. I had the best time, and I was damn, I need to do going out like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It needs to be one drink. I had 1.5 drinks all night.
Yeah.
And it needs to be like that, and I need to not have gone out in a long time.
It just helps to loosen you up a little bit.
You
don't need that much.
Exactly.
Plus,
I need a teeny
if I
buzz.
drink more than 2 drinks, the next morning I look my face
dehydrated.
looks like shit.
Yeah. Even even not sleeping well does that. So
Yeah,
that
same.
on top of staying up late, so bad.
Yeah, that's so true. Even being on set like late at night and then waking up the
Yes.
next day, I look like I drank.
Yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm.
Being on set is incredibly stressful, especially for a night shoot or just a 12-hour day.
When it's a night shoot, I can't look at the time.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'll start knowing I'm tired. But I do drink a lot of coffee on night shoots. But we respond to coffee differently. I can fall
Yeah.
asleep
Mm-hmm.
after having coffee, but you can't.
Sometimes it's fine, and I can fall asleep. I used to be fine, but I think it was because I wasn't drinking a lot of coffee. And if I drink a lot of coffee, then I get really anxious.
Yeah.
That one time, I got so anxious. I was like sick.
The one on set?
Yes.
Yeah. And then I remember when you had a Celsius.
Oh my
get super
God, that
anxious,
was
too.
so bad. If I drink too much coffee, I'm like,
well, it makes your body kind of react to it. So then, like, if your mind is like, no, this isn't right. I feel like when I get like jittery from coffee, sometimes it depends on where I am. Like, if I can be high energy, I'm fine. So like on set, I can be chit chatty.
Yeah.
But if I'm at home and I had too much coffee and like David's doing his own thing working and I'm trying to like work, it makes my brain not be able to focus, and I need to just like yap.
Yeah.
But if I can't yap, that's when I start getting anxious. I'm like, I had too much coffee.
Oh, God. That sounds so bad. I hate coffee like that. I mean, like, I like it. It's like drinking for me. Like, I like a little bit of it because I like the taste sometimes.
I love the taste.
Yeah.
I love it in the morning, like hot
and
coffee.
the smell.
Ugh, it smells so good. You're not leaving on the 3rd, are you?
No, the 13th.
Okay.
And then I
I
get
was,
back
like,
on the
thinking 3rd. December
7th. Yeah, December 7th. I'll be gone for a long time. But it's because the flights are just really
They're
expensive.
more affordable to do it.
Yeah,
longer
to
trip.
do it after like the first week of December to come back. And then I have to leave early in November so that we can go to I'm going to Houston. I'm going back home. And we're going to the Ren Fair the week of the 16th or weekend of the 16th.
Oh, they do the Ren Fair this time of year?
Yeah. And it's so fun. I'm so
it's like winter
excited.
Ren
Yes,
Fair.
it's so
Does it
cute.
get cold over there in the winter at all?
It gets a little chilly, but it's not bad.
Kind of like LA.
Yeah, kind of. I think it's a little colder than LA. But
it was cold today.
Yeah, it was cold. It was gloomy today. Or not gloomy. It was actually kind of like
it was coming in and out.
Yeah, it was like, I mean, when I was driving here, it was very gray. And it was getting dark. But we're gonna see my dad's adoptive mother.
I didn't know your dad was adopted.
Yeah, well, his mother, she just passed away, but she was alive for the majority of his life. She just wasn't around. She just wasn't capable of being what he needed. So my grandma Nola, his adoptive mother, was like, "We're gonna take Dylan. He keeps coming around here," and she had already had a lot of foster kids. So she was like, "We're gonna take him in because he seems like he needs somewhere to be." And
that's so sweet.
I know.
I want to
so
be like
sweet.
that.
I'm excited to see her. I haven't seen her in years, maybe since I was like little, maybe like 7 or something.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, and she was always so great.
Sweet.
And she always had this oil burner at the front of the house. If we could find one of those, and it smelled like apple pie. It is the best.
Oh, I need that in my house right now.
It's the way that it smells. It's better than a candle. It's better than anything that releases scent. It was so warm. I just loved huffing
and
that thing.
Stuck with you all these years.
Yes, it stuck with me. I almost forgot about it, but it was so. Going to her house was like, oh, this is home. This is a home.
Yeah.
Because this woman is choosing to have this big of a family and like bringing in people that aren't her blood. And like, it was so great. So I'm excited to see her, and we're going to her favorite weekend of the Ren Fair in Texas.
Oh, I love that she loves the Ren Fair too.
So I know she loves it. So I'm gonna go early for that reason.
Oh,
even though it kind of stresses me out to stay that long somewhere.
I think it'll be good for you.
Yeah.
Just get out of Dodge for a little bit.
I know.
And have some time with your family. But yeah, I get scared being away from where, like from home for a long time.
I need like time for me a lot. So I feel like I get burnt out.
Luckily, since you're staying for so long, I feel like you can have that because it's like, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm going to be here. So I need today.
Yeah.
To bed rot.
I don't even want to bed rot, man. I just want to be alone and like focus on everything that I need to focus on because I want to not even hustle, but just continue growing.
It's good.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about being around people. I'm not around all the time. It makes me definitely want to rot after a long day of that.
Yeah, I know.
Same with working.
Yeah, I know.
It's so hard. But I need to change that about myself.
Well, no, I think that's very natural. Working makes you want to.
Because you're like exhausted after. Yes. You just want to.
I had a talk with this girl. I went to this costume store and she was like telling me the hours. I was like, when do you guys open and close? And she was like, we open at 5 a.m. and close at 8.
A costume store?
Yes. I was like,
why would they open at 5 a.m.?
I know. I asked that. I was like, that's crazy. Why do you guys open that early? She's like, I know. It was crazy. I know it's crazy. I got my hours this morning and I was like, damn. She's like, and it's stressful when I get home because all I want to do is scroll on my phone to decompress, but then it ends up being late as hell. So then I go to bed late and then I have to wake up early again. And I was like, yes, I understand that. When you work all day, it makes you want to just completely unplug
and stay up instead of taking care of yourself.
And give you like a serotonin boost. Your phone gives you the serotonin boost, so you kind of like
it's like revenge scrolling or something. That's the worst. I try so hard when I have like a long day, even on set, to just like go, because you'll feel better if you do like your skincare routine and just take care of yourself and take time. But I think having our phones, like first of all, little side tangent. The reason why I put off getting ready for bed is because I hate when my hairline gets wet. I hate when my hands get too wet or the water splashes down my legs, even though I wear those little wristbands. Same with like showering. I hate when my hair is wet or like my body is wet, so I have to dry off and I need lotion. And like I'll put it off so much. So it's like, it's definitely not instant gratification. But after all of it's done and like everything, you have your moisturizer on, everything, that feels so much better than getting the instant gratification of scrolling. For 20 minutes or longer. But it's hard to remember because we're so used to like it's so accessible. Can just have it 24/7. And I hate it.
I know, dude. I've been bad about my retainer. You know me, off and on with my fucking retainer. We'll leave it out for like a week and then decide, oh, I need to get back on it.
And it's so sore.
I know, but it's just like, it stresses me out, the thought of my teeth shifting. And I know that when I'm being consistent and wearing it every night, I'm like way less stressed about it. But when I have a lot going on, like we went to horror nights and I went to a party,
and we filmed a YouTube video and you've been editing it, and which you're not on that routine yet of being used to that workflow.
So I think eventually I'll just get good at like declining things that are later at night, which you've been really good at. And then going to bed early, which I am much better at that now.
Even when I go to bed early, I still am so, like, I need 10 hours of sleep every night. Because I'm so tired.
I know.
Like, will I ever is it because I'm so, like, far gone from a regular sleep schedule that I just need so much? Or is that normal to get 10 hours? I think it's normal. Okay.
I think it's normal, and once you, because even whenever I was getting, like, 8 hours of sleep a night, after not being on a good schedule for a long time, I was still taking naps during the day to kind of make up for the sleep debt. There's like sleep debt. And I learned that in psychology. I don't know. I learned it in psychology, so it must be accurate. But your body is just like making up for, you need a certain type of sleep every night. So if you're not getting past, I think it's past REM, like you dream and then you have to fall into a deep sleep for a certain amount of time. And if you don't get that full deep sleep, then you're not fully rested. So it could potentially be that,
Yeah.
or your body just adjusting to being on a certain schedule.
Like I'll wake up
or
early.
hormones.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll wake up early and feel awake, but then it feels way too early.
Uh-huh.
And then I go back to sleep, and then I wake up late,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm tired.
Yeah.
So should I just get up when I wake up and feel awake?
I think, well, are you sleeping 8 hours or more? No.
Mm-mm.
I think you need to.
Because the other
If
day
I
when I
haven't
did
had-
that, sorry.
Uh-huh.
The other day when I did that, I woke up, I went to bed at like 12. I woke up at like 4:30, and then I took like a 3-hour nap during the day, and that didn't feel good.
No.
But when I
don't
woke
think
up at
that's good.
or at 4:30, I did an hour of yoga
Yeah.
and made breakfast, and
That's what. There's this one guy, very famous, old famous person known for being a genius. It might have been, what's his name? Aristotle. What's his name? Not Socrates. It starts with a G, I think. Galileo.
uh-huh.
I think it was Galileo. He would wake up in the middle of the night and be the most productive. And I've had that before.
Me
where I
too.
go to bed at 7:30.
Mm-hmm.
My brain naturally wakes up at 3 o'clock every night. And I am so thoughtful and creative. And immediately when I wake up, the thoughts in my head are, you need to do this in order to do this and do that and do that.
And everything makes sense.
And
Yeah.
everything
I have that
makes
too.
Yes.
And then I wake up at like the normal time, like 7.
Yeah.
Or when I sleep in, like 10. And I feel like I don't know what to do. I have nothing to do, even though I have a million things to do.
So I think having that weird sleep schedule where you do wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning could be very helpful. But the way that the world works you need to get your full 8 hours in the nighttime while nothing is going on. And then you need to wake up in the morning and work on everyone else's time.
It's a trap.
It's
feeling
trap.
like a trap. It's like they're trying their society with the way that we work, like actual jobs. They're trying to hold us back
from being our best selves or reaching our full potential. Yeah, no, that's really fucked up. But if we didn't have artificial light, it would probably be easier. Galileo didn't have artificial light, so he was probably able to go to bed when the sun went down, which was around this time of year, 6:30 at night, and then wake up at 3, be up for 2 hours, and then go to bed till the sun came up. So I don't know. I would like to try that one time. Maybe I'll make a YouTube video about it.
You should.
Do that
try
for
it
a
like
week. Yeah. And see how that goes. And then, but I personally, the way everything goes for me right now is like, I like to go to bed at, like, fall asleep by 10 or 10:30, and then sleep a full 8 to 10 hours, wake up at 7, 8 o'clock, get up, go for a walk, be outside, and then get shit done all day.
Yeah.
And that is very productive, and I don't feel tired. Sure, I might feel tired towards the end of the night, but I'm like, okay, just hold on till it's around 9:30. You start getting ready for bed. You get in bed by 10, go to bed by 10:30, and then start all over.
Yeah.
And it's helpful.
That's good.
Yeah, but I need, if I'm not able to sleep, I kind of try to force myself, like, relax your body. Breathe, let go of that anxiety, and go back to sleep. You need another hour or 2. So
that's what I usually do too, instead of getting up.
Yeah.
Which I think it's better because then I stay up all day versus taking a 3-hour nap.
Yeah, it is
Which
better.
I feel like shit for the second time.
Yeah. I don't like that. No.
I hate the after the nap feeling.
Yeah. If you're waking up early as fuck, don't get up. Don't wake your body up. I hate that feeling. I've done it before. I've tried it, and it does make me take a 3-hour nap because our bodies are not the same as men's bodies. Our hormones are different, and we're not on a day schedule. Like, we don't reset at the end of the day. We reset at the end of the month. So it's different for us.
Isn't that crazy?
It is weird. It's so annoying. They say that being on birth control helps the symptoms of that not feel as intense, but I mean, you're not on birth control, so
I'm feeling it all.
Yeah, I do. I still feel it, and I'm on birth control.
Yeah.
It's hard being the way that we are programmed. We live in a man's world.
Yes, we do, woman.
Okay. Well, that was a great long tangent.
It was.
Should I read a story to you?
Yeah, you should.
Okay.
I need a pee, though.
I do too.
Okay, good.
Okay, now I'm going to read us a story. Would you like to listen to my story?
I would like to listen to your story.
Okay. So, trigger warnings for my husband of 20 years is cheating on me with our son's 18-year-old girlfriend. Trigger warnings include infidelity, addiction, grooming, and harassment.
Cool.
Here we go. So the title says, my husband of 20 years is cheating on me with our son's 18-year-old girlfriend.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Okay. This was posted March 17th, 2024. May, June, July, August, September, October. Okay, it's been a while. It says, I'm not going to use pseudonyms for anyone I reference in this post. I, 41 female, am a stay-at-home mom. My husband, 48 male, whom we will call Paul, works in finance. We have been married for nearly 20 years. We have 2 kids whom we will call Eric, our 18-year-old son, currently a senior in high school, and Mary, our 15-year-old daughter. They are both the lights of my life. My marriage with my husband has grown somewhat stale over the years for a myriad of reasons, such as his work schedule and how I've aged poorly since we first met.
Oh my god.
So sad to say that about yourself. Our son Eric has a girlfriend, 18 female, whom he's been dating since they were freshmen in high school. We'll call her Amy. Eric absolutely adores Amy. She's his first love, and she's someone I've always considered as family. This makes the whole situation emotionally excruciating for me. Last week, I inadvertently saw my husband's phone screen and got a glimpse of a text thread between my husband and Amy, our son's girlfriend. And I read what looked like a message of her telling him that she misses sucking his cock.
Wait. A message from her to him?
Yes.
Okay.
Saying that she misses sucking his... I froze in place in complete disbelief. I spent most of my day convincing myself that I must have misread what I saw. However,
I didn't misread that.
Yes. However, I didn't misread it because over the last several days, I discovered a file on his computer filled with tons of BDSM porn. He clearly has a porn addiction. He also has saved photos of Amy from her Instagram on his computer. Although they weren't inappropriate, she was fully clothed. It was still the proof I needed to confirm that I wasn't going crazy. I also looked at his phone during opportune moments and saw more of their interactions. I wish I had never looked.
Oh my god.
They were filled with mean, horrible things said at my expense, with him constantly comparing me to her.
This is to Amy.
Yes. He would call me fat and old, among other things, with Amy LOLing. I've always had hunches or paranoid feelings that Paul has been cheating on me, but never in a million years could I have fathomed something like this. Last month, I found a thong in our bedroom that I know wasn't mine. I turned a blind eye to it, being naive and acting like it was maybe our daughter's, even though that made 0 sense. Not only is he cheating on me, but he's betraying our son. I'm completely devastated. I don't even think words can adequately describe the dread, anger, shock I feel right now. I'm totally overwhelmed on how to handle this, because obviously action needs to be taken, but I'm terrified of what kind of psychic blow this will be for my son. I have no idea how to even broach this completely fucked up topic with him. I wouldn't wish this predicament on my worst enemy. I can't even believe I married this scumbag in the first place. And then my mind started to race, realizing that I started noticing specifically unusual behavior from him around the same time Amy turned 18. Was he waiting for her to turn 18 before pursuing this affair?
So he knew her pre-18.
Yeah. That he knew her since...
He's grooming her.
her and his son were 15. Yeah, or 14 because I was 14 freshman year.
Sick.
There's so many layers to all this, and I'm completely paralyzed with fear and dread about it all. None of it makes any fucking sense. How does this happen? Am I that much of a stupid idiot that I let all of this happen under my watch? Eric adores Amy, and the thought of revealing this sickening truth to him terrifies me. The impact on his young heart and mind could be devastating. My heart aches for Eric and Mary, who are completely innocent bystanders, so the kids. I haven't confronted my husband about this because I'm frankly scared of the domino effect. Gosh, she's so strong. I don't know who to turn to first about this. I share my story not for sympathy, but in search of understanding and perhaps advice from those who might have had to grapple with deep betrayal. Thank you for listening.
God. Holy crap.
She is so strong, trying to hold it together.
And he's literally Satan.
Yeah, he is disgusting.
Oh my God, and he's grooming her. She's only 18. He's known her since she was a freshman in high school.
Yeah.
That's his son's girlfriend. How old is he?
18.
No, the dad.
Oh, the dad. Let's see.
48. Thank you. 48-year-old? That's a 40-year age difference.
Ooh! No, 30. 30.
Oh.
30.
She's 8 years old.
30.
That's a 30-year age difference.
And yeah, and like you said.
And she's young.
She's been,
groomed.
They've known her since she was around 14, 15.
Oh my God. Poor thing. I wonder if this had been going on or to what extent. Because obviously it's not just, she turned 18 now. Obviously there was to some extent maybe little comments and compliments here and there to butter her up. And God, I feel so bad for her too because she's just a young girl and she doesn't know she's getting attention from this older man and probably it makes her feel good about herself. I remember my brother had this friend. My brother's 4 years older than me. But when I was in middle school, he would be super flirty with me. And he would always say comments about when I turn 18 and stuff like that. And my brother would get so upset with him. But it was so flattering to me because I thought he was cute and he's older. And it was I liked the attention.
Yeah.
So if he was pursuing me, obviously he's just a little bit older, but in my opinion, that's still wrong. He was in high school and I was in middle school.
Yeah.
It's still wrong.
It's still wrong.
Not as crazy as this, but I liked the attention and I would try to get his attention more.
Mm-hmm.
And it felt good to me. And I remember one time he drew on my stomach when I was in a swimsuit.
How old were
and
you?
I was, I think 8th grade.
And how old was he?
He was 4 years older. He might have been 5. He might have been older than my brother, but 4 or 5 years older than me.
My God.
So I was 13.
Oh God.
And he was 17 or 18.
Yeah.
And he drew on my stomach an arrow pointing down.
Nasty motherfucker.
Nasty motherfucker. But at the time, I was loving the attention, and it's weird looking back because now to me that sounds so awful, and I could see how vulnerable I was, and I feel sorry for my younger self, but basically I see where she's coming from, the 18-year-old, and I just feel really bad for her because obviously there's grooming happening, and when you look back when you're older, it feels really shameful and sad.
Yeah. I know.
And then this woman who's been with her husband and has kids with him, and, I imagine she's saying that she feels that she aged badly because in those texts that she read, he was saying to Amy that she looks so much better than his wife who's fat and old.
Yeah.
Which is awful.
Now that's weighing on her mind about how she feels about herself.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she didn't even feel that way until she saw those messages.
I wouldn't think
she
did, honestly.
It's really sad.
And then finding a thong in your room. And I could see, because at first she was like, I just, wrote it off. And I was like, how do you write it off? But then saying, like, oh, it could have been my daughter's. Like, if the laundry got mixed up or something, I would do the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't blame her for being quote unquote naive. I don't think she's being naive.
No.
I think she's trying to trust her husband, even though she's kind of had suspicions. Being like, oh, maybe it's just my daughter's saying it got mixed up.
Yeah.
And I just feel bad that she's beating herself up for not, like, seeing it before.
I know.
But, like, what are the steps after that? Like, I just feel like, I don't know. He should be getting in trouble. Like, I don't hope, but at the same time, I do that there would be, like, that it would be a little bit before she turned 18, just so that he could get in, like, legal trouble.
Yeah.
Because I don't think there's much of a difference from 17 and, like, 2 months away from being 18 and being 18. Like, you're the same age, in my opinion. So, like, I hope that it could be, like, a little bit just before 18, some evidence.
Yeah.
So that he could get actual charges against him.
Yeah. Maybe she could find some evidence if she dug deep enough.
I feel like that would be the best route.
Yeah. But if it's not solid evidence, if he did wait until she was 18, then he's in the clear.
Yeah.
There's nothing that can be done. But it's just very gross. I think 18-year-olds are also very... Like, I do think it's a good age for you to be considered an adult. Like, when I was 18... When I turned 18, I was looking forward to turning 18. I was like, I'm an adult now. I can have relations with other 18-year-olds and people who are older, considered adults. I wanted to do that, but not to hook up with my boyfriend's dad or an older man.
That's crazy.
Maybe if I was manipulated, which actually I was manipulated by an older man. I wish I could give more context, but it scares me. But yeah, I was a very fucked up 18-year-old. Like, I had a lot of emotional problems. Tons of emotional problems. I thought I had BPD. I was highly convinced I had BPD because of my level of mood swings. And yes, I was very mentally unwell. Most of my teenagehood, I'd say it started at I had other problems when I was an adolescent, a child. And then at 13, I started having pretty severe mood swings. But then after I was about 17, I started having even more intense mood swings when it came to romantic relationships. I would turn into a completely different person and break down. Like, I was shut off from a part of myself and was completely stuck in suffering. And that there was just so much that I was dealing with, with not being able to validate myself. I had no love for myself at all whatsoever.
Yeah.
And so if anyone gave me attention, I held on to that shit. Like, I needed it to survive. I needed to be valued because I felt I did not value myself, and I had a hard time feeling like I got it from my primary caretaker when I was little.
Yeah.
So I just had this deep child wound, and I had
the
this
same issue as a teenager.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had this 40-year-old man who knew my boyfriend at the time, who, right when I turned 18, he pursued me so hard, and he tried to sleep with me.
I don't understand how men of that age, I can't imagine going for someone, even in my 20s, in their early 20s or under 20 years old. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that much of an age gap, 40 to 18?
Yeah.
How do you do that?
I don't know. But I knew it was wrong. And we were working together. And one time after we were done working on something together, he invited me to take me out to eat. And I was like, oh, we're going to eat together. But he was on like this diet where he couldn't eat out. So he just bought me food and watched me eat. And I felt in hindsight like, this is so weird. I'm a little, like, I feel like he's my dad feeding me a meal right now, watching me eat. Like, I feel like this little thing.
And even just him being on, like, that type of diet shows the age gap.
I know. I thought about that, too. I was like, he needs to be on a diet. He can't eat certain things because when you're older, you gain weight easier. And it's like, what am I doing? I was like, I think I told him, I was like, I can't be doing this. It's wrong. And I was like making up excuses for how to get out of the situation. And he was like, you know, one thing I hate is when people don't follow through with what they say they're going to do. And
I'm ill.
I never worked with him again after that.
I'm so sorry.
But it was so scary in hindsight. Because I was like, oh, he thinks I'm like attractive and that I'm special. And I like let him give me that attention. But I pulled out and he said that comment and it was scary.
It's
and
so easy to be manipulated as a young woman because I think all of us or a lot of us have those deep childhood wounds where we want attention and like getting it from men is the most likely way.
Yeah.
Or like the way that we're used to.
It was intoxicating.
Yeah, when you first experience it, you want
especially
more.
With your level of hormones at that age. I feel like it was like now I feel less affected by that.
Me too, 100%.
Yeah. But like when you're young, when you're a teenager, your hormones are crazy too, and it's
your
like
hormones are crazy.
You want to like breed almost.
Yeah, exactly.
I think your brain wants that. You don't consciously want that.
Yes, I think that's so true because I remember like when I was younger, I wanted literally to have babies. Like I wanted to be pregnant so bad. And like that obviously carried into my adulthood as like I want to be a mother and be an amazing mom. So I want to wait to get into a place. But I was like, I wanted to be a teen mom so bad. Like I just wanted, I don't know why I wanted that.
Yeah. I didn't consciously want it. I was actually terrified of it. But like my level of like
on a biological level, you felt like you wanted it.
I was like so susceptible to being in intimate relations with people because I guess, I don't know, I was just hardwired that way. I mean, not we all are because there are asexual people who don't want to have sex, and that's really cool. I want to do that.
I want to have that.
I want to have that. Like I don't want to have the drive to have sex. It definitely has lessened now because I do want to be emotionally safe with someone, and that's really rare to find, unfortunately. So anytime I am involved with somebody who doesn't make me feel that way, I lose my sex drive. But I wish I didn't have the urge to be intimate at all. Like I would actually be perfectly fine like that.
Yeah, no, me too. Especially thinking back to when I was a young girl. Like I remember thinking that was where my worth lied, was in like sex.
Yes, I did too.
And so that's how I thought, like, oh, that's how you get a boyfriend that wants to be with you forever.
Yep.
And it just wasn't true. And I got such a rude awakening, but still craved that like type of attention from men.
Yes.
And women. Like obviously I wanted attention from all sides. Yeah. Like I wanted everyone to think that I was beautiful, that I was hot, that I was this and that
worthy
I was
that. And lovable.
Yeah. But yeah, and I feel like these older people, because like we've grown and we have that hindsight, and I feel like they do too on a level, which to me makes them evil predators.
Yeah. Because
they know that young girls are vulnerable, and that's why they go after them, because they're vulnerable and they're impressionable, and you can manipulate them and you can fool them in ways you cannot do to grown women.
Yes.
That's why like there's that, like everyone says, like date someone your own age, or like Like there's like something where there's like a saying where if like they can't get anyone their age, like it correlates to
Yeah.
scram.
Scram.
She doesn't want to talk to you.
Yeah. Well, I also dated somebody, you know who, creepy motherfucker, who was obsessed with 18-year-olds.
Yeah, just like pedophile vibes.
Yes.
Like if they could be younger,
yeah,
then that's better.
Yeah.
Oh, Jose Menendez from the Menendez brothers case. There was this girl who testified or wrote something, I forget, but she basically was what do they call the woman that they basically have sex workers, like she matches sex workers with clients.
Oh, like a madam or a pimp?
A madam. She was a madam, and Jose Menendez would ask for no girls over 14. And she was like, I don't have any underage girls, so I would just send my youngest looking girls. This is getting like real dark because it's in the Menendez case shit, but
and it might not be a madam. There might be a different word for it.
I think it was
because that's not a brothel. I mean, it could be. Yeah,
I think that's what
or an agent or something.
Yeah, something like that. But she said that the girls would come back like fucked up, like he would abuse the fuck out of them. And
there are so many things that were not in the show. That were in the case.
Yeah.
That are darker than what was even in the show.
Yeah, 100%. And it wasn't even in the documentary either. Like, I found it on, like, doing my own research.
Wow.
And I guess there was this one girl. Basically, girls wouldn't go back to him after.
Yeah.
But he thought that they were underaged. Because that's what she told him, even though she didn't have any underage girls. Yeah. She sent her youngest ones, but he thought they were. And one girl got so beat up by him that she refused to go back. And no matter how much money he was willing to give her, and then that was when the madam or the agent or whatever was like, okay, I'm not sending any more girls to him.
Yeah.
But there's people out there like that who prey on young girls. And I don't know, I just think especially girls that come from like messed up backgrounds, or like we don't know Amy's family background, you know, who knows if she has a dad in the picture. And then this man, her boyfriend's dad, who she's built a relationship with, starts giving her like more attention than just fatherly. It's still like she wants to keep that connection with that person because of the family, or, you know, like daddy issues. That's such a cliche because it's so real.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on in her life, but she could just want to feel loved and seen, even though she has this boyfriend and like she seems very close with the rest of the family. But I don't know, or just feel pressured.
Yeah.
Like I've definitely felt pressured many times and given in, and there's times where like I pretend, like she said, like I miss sucking your cock, but like there's times when you say that, something like that, to like almost keep yourself safe in a way, or like please them.
Well, yeah,
or give them what they want.
It's a
what they want to hear.
thing.
Yeah,
it sounds like she has a daddy wound, and I have a mother wound, and you have both. And it makes us people pleasers.
Yeah.
So, and it becomes like a kink almost to like be a pleaser. So she could be saying that 100% honest and like just trying to please him.
Yeah.
That's probably their dynamic. But it's 100% wrong. There's no gray area with this, I think.
No. She's a victim.
She's a victim.
Everyone's a victim except for that 48-year-old man.
Yeah, exactly.
48 years old.
I don't think there's a gray
disgusting.
area. Just because she's 18, there is no excuse. There's no excuse. She's a kid still. She's a kid. Dating your son. That should give him some perspective.
That makes it even
on how
worse.
young she is. But he likes it because he's nasty. And there's so many men that I know that love an 18-year-old. Yep.
It's like the Euphoria dad.
Yeah. Ugh. Pedophile. Like as close to pedophile as you can get
without being with an underage person.
Yeah. You know,
But it still is because you're obviously looking at that girl while she's 15, 14, 15, 16, 17.
Yeah, you're waiting for her to like get even hotter. More in her prime, more adult like, but still young and innocent and impressionable and youthful. Baby face, but with a woman's closer to a woman's body. You still don't even get into your fully female woman body.
Not until like your mid 20s,
Yeah.
I feel like.
My body has changed a lot.
So much.
I feel like I got just more filled out. Or even you lose your baby fat more.
You do.
So it's like you see more of your body at 24, 25. I lost so much baby fat. Like I had so much in my face for a long time.
Me too.
Ugh. I looked like a baby for a long time, and I still do, but I looked even more like a baby until I was like 24. 23, maybe. But anyways, it's just gross.
It's disgusting. I feel so bad for her. Are there any comments?
There's some further info from OOP. It says, to not have my initial post be long-winded because I didn't think I needed to get into the minutia. What is minutia? Let me say this.
David, what's minutia?
To not have my initial post be long-winded because I didn't think I needed to get into the minutia of this. I didn't bother going into those details. How I inadvertently saw it was this he did on his phone. He did not have iMessage open currently on the screen, but the application was still open. You know how on the iPhone when you swipe up and it shows all the applications that are open and you can close them? When he was closing out of the application, something he does compulsively, I noticed it. It's not like he was some kind of idiotic buffoon having iMessage open for all to see. I saw he forgot he had the application running when he swiped up from the completely different app. Also, I did say in my post that I went back to his phone to actually solidify my suspicion on a different day. So you are incorrect in asserting that I am now magically changing my story. I am being consistent.
Someone was like accusing her of...
Yeah. Somebody was probably accusing her of being like inconsistent. Here's some comments, relevant comments. If she's freshly 18, isn't this illegal? Oh, I thought they were going to say legal. If she's freshly 18, isn't this illegal? There's no way they weren't doing anything illegal before she turned into an adult.
That's what I was saying.
Also,
there's no way. They groom them.
Yeah.
Because it's not just like, oh, now you're 18. Hi, I always thought you were hot. Yeah. Like, there's things that happen prior. Sorry.
Potentially. Or like 3, 4, 5 months into her being 18. Right when she turned 18, he could have started it. Because that's what happened to me. Right when I turned 18, he started.
How did he treat you before that? Just nice?
Nice. But when I turned 18, I think like... So every time I did... We were doing a specific job together. And it was very stressful. And I would get knots in my shoulders. And we would be... I don't even want to say what it was, but we were looking at the work. And I would be like rubbing my shoulder really hard because I get really bad knots. And he was like, do you want me to rub your shoulders for you?
This was pre-18.
This was 18.
Okay.
So it didn't happen before that.
But that's where it kind of started.
That's where it started, right when I turned 18. I think when I told him I had my 18th birthday, he was like, I could see his face light up. I remember that image in my head of his like face lighting up. And then, yeah, I think that was the same day he, like, offered to massage my shoulder. So I think it can happen that way.
Yeah.
He was always very nice and, like, normal before that.
Okay.
But still, like, he was waiting.
He was waiting.
For the day. Like, as soon as I told him, it was like, I can't. And it makes me feel so guilty because I was put in a situation where I did have a boyfriend. And I had an older man kind of like pushing me to give that people pleaser kind of thing away. I didn't do anything, but I did like flirt. And then I ended up in a situation that was like, I knew it was wrong. And I was like, I'm not going to do this shit. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to fall for it. It's wrong. It's bad. I mean, I didn't even have that like adult mindset where I was like, I'm not going to do this shit. I know what I'm doing and I know how I feel right now. I didn't know what I was doing and I didn't know how I felt. I was just like,
You were thinking.
wrong. I need to run away eventually. But I was not. Your prefrontal cortex, whatever it is not developed until you're 24, 25.
Isn't that crazy?
I remember feeling the shift.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, whoa,
Mm-hmm.
I do not think or feel the same.
Mm-hmm.
Something must have changed in my brain chemistry.
Yeah.
So, God, I was so fucking stupid. But yeah, he did that right when I turned 18. So anyways, if she's freshly 18, isn't this illegal? There's no way they weren't doing anything illegal before she turned into an adult. Also, even if so, the age gap is over 3 decades. Your husband is suspect as fuck. Police immediately.
Yes.
Yeah.
Get the police involved.
Find evidence first, because the police will not do shit until you have
or
solid
contact
evidence.
her parents, because if her parents, they would be the ones to press charges, not her.
But the wife needs to find evidence, because they couldn't even press charges if she didn't have anything.
Because maybe the parents could look through the daughter's phone too. Because I feel like if I were a parent and my daughter's son's mother came to me and said, look, this is what's happening. I'm sorry it happened under my nose. I had no idea, but I just found out and I just needed to let you know. And you do what you want to do, but I would approve of you pressing charges, but you would need to find evidence. This is the only evidence I have. Yeah, I would definitely go to them, because if I were the parent of the girl, I would immediately take the phone and everything just so I could go through it, and I would be pressing charges against this man if I could. I
wonder if you would. Maybe she deleted the messages though.
That's what but like if she has no suspicions, or like maybe she would, but I feel like it needs to be kind of like a surprise attack, so she can't delete them.
Yeah,
because like she can't confront the husband without confronting the parents, almost, because then the husband could text Amy.
I see some comments, but yes, I see some comments and responses. So, how is your son holding up? What has developed between him and Amy? He hasn't spoken to Amy yet since finding out the news, and I'm not sure if he ever will again. So, okay, he did find out. Okay, there's a development.
I wonder how he found out.
It might tell us here.
Okay, I'm hoping it does, because I feel like there's a way to go about that.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think it's hard when you're in that situation because you're seeing red. But I really hope she didn't just go and tell her son, and
she obviously was taking it very slow and trying to like do the right thing.
Yeah.
From her post, like she was like, I've been like keeping things a secret, keeping things quiet,
trying to figure out how to do it.
I think there's an update. Okay. I'm using pseudonyms for confidentiality. I shared a situation a few days ago on another subreddit involving my 41 female husband, Paul, 48 male, our children, Eric, 18 male, and Mary, 15 female. I discovered that Paul was having an affair with our son's 18-year-old girlfriend, Amy. My son has been dating her since they were freshmen in high school. My brother connected me to a very tough junkyard dog type lawyer. I saved screenshots of all his conversations with Amy. I was only able to get the last 3 months from iCloud. The conversations were mostly flirty and dirty talk. It was hard to stomach, completely sleazy, and I saw several negative things said about me. His call history showed he talks with her for hours, pretty consistently. Oof. He uses dating apps. I took screenshots of all his profiles and all the active chats he has with his matches. It's very clear he uses a filter to seek out girls who are 18 to 22 or so. I copied all of his files from the computer. He goes on sex chat rooms and forums, and he spends tons of money on OnlyFans.
He's sick.
I rummaged through every possible hiding spot I could think of in the house. He had various toys, blindfolds, cuffs, lubricants, etc.
Shit that he never used with her.
No. He also had different outfits, which looked kind of like a girl's Catholic school uniform and
my
a
God.
French-made outfit type 2.
Oh my God.
I picked up Eric and Mary from school, and we all drove to my brother's. They were able to sense something. Hold on, let me read that again because I wasn't paying attention. I picked up Eric and Mary from school, and we all drove to my brother's. They were able to sense something was awry when I picked them up. I delicately told them this entire situation, and I broke down crying. Mary had the most anger, even more than Eric. I met with Amy's mother and told her everything. She confiscated Amy's phone and gave me the entire chat log. It only dated back 3 months ago, like on my husband's cloud. Almost as if they both deleted the messages at the same time. She told me Amy sobbed when confronted. Amy basically told her mother that she will never understand and that she and him are in love.
Oh my God, this poor girl.
I don't want to get into too many details with what else she was saying, but suffice to say it's very easy to assume that my husband slowly and methodically became a sage-like figure in her life, making her feel she could only rely on him. And she took advantage of the fact that she came from a broken home. And he took advantage of the fact that she came from a broken home. Yep.
We knew it.
Amy is also non-stop insistent that their friendship only became romantic / physical recently. And before that, she said he was more of a friend and a mentor. I confronted Paul over Zoom. The look on his face was scary. He became red and looked sweaty. He had anger and panic in his eyes. His tone of voice was very defensive and frightening. He kept yelling the word context over and over again. That none of that happened. He was unable to speak without constant stutters and intensity. Nothing really made any sense to me. I refused to tell him where I was, and he said I had no right to take his kids away from him, and then he abruptly left Zoom. My lawyer is filing for temporary sole custody of Mary and a restraining order. Mary is still the most angry. She's totally furious with her dad and Amy. Justifiably so, of course. Mary is recollecting moments and times she watched her dad interact with her friends, and she's in knots about it. Eric is very clearly hurting, but he's so strong and very level-headed. He wants to see a therapist. The maturity my kids are showing makes me proud. They don't deserve this at all. We made the authorities aware of everything. I plan on being completely unforgiving and ruthless in this divorce. I'm reflecting on how I've been treated and how it's made me a shell of myself, and how I've had a very negative opinion of myself because of him over the last 20 years. I don't want to let this scumbag get away with it. I want to reinvent myself and move on stronger than ever.
Good job, babe.
Damn.
Holy fucker.
Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy.
Oh my God.
Well, I think she handled it beautifully.
Yeah.
That's the best you can do in this situation, and that fucker got red in the face, sweaty, and stuttered.
It sounds... Okay, so I've seen like videos of predators getting caught. And
I've seen those too!
Right? And he seems like he's responding like he got caught with an underage kid.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
He's so guilty.
It's highly likely that he was involved with her before 18.
Yeah, well, and then the daughter recollecting, like, his interactions with her friends. Like, there must be something weird about those interactions. Like, obviously you find that out and then things kind of start making sense.
Yeah.
And that seemed to happen with her. God,
Yeah.
those poor kids. And I don't know. Obviously, okay. Amy, to me, is still a child. And so for that, she gets a pass. And I'm sure it's really hard for OP to, like, see. But not saying I would do this in this situation, but being on the outside, I would, like, talk to my kids and be like, you know, Amy's a victim too. Like, you don't have to have her in your life, obviously. Like, you shouldn't. But, and you can feel angry at her, but just know that, like, she's still a very young girl. And I don't know. I just felt like she was getting some heat, which makes sense. But at the same time, I just feel so bad for her.
Yeah. I just think if the mother were to say, like, oh, she's a victim, it would make the kids feel bad for her.
And, like, undermine,
Yeah, and I think, like, from their perspective, or especially the boyfriend's perspective, they're the same age, and he's like, I would never do that.
Yeah.
So the mom is probably letting them come to their own conclusions.
That's true. And that's good too.
Yeah. That's their peer. So they can decide how they feel about that.
Yeah. Whew.
Crazy
story.
Wow.
Woo.
Okay.
I'd say that's the end of our podcast.
Yes.
For today. Are you yapped out?
I am yapped out. My mouth, my throat, everything hurts.
Doesn't it get so dry when you're reading the story?
Yes. What about you?
I'm yapped out.
Yeah.
I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
That last one was a doozy. Thank you so much for watching our second episode of Yapped Out. You'll hear another one that I say is the second episode, but this is being released early because it's Halloween's almost over.
Yeah, we need to get this out now.
Tomorrow.
Yes. Thank you so much for listening.
We love you and happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Bye.
Bye.
We did it.